Yemen's armed factions have an impact throughout the Middle East and beyond.
The U.S. military launched another airstrike in Yemen.
The US and UK hit around 30 sites across Yemen.
The war in the Middle East has been escalating, and it's getting serious with a death toll of over 23,000 people. What started as a conflict between two parties has now drawn in more than half a dozen of the world's most powerful nations, including the United States. However, with the United States came the A-10 Warthog, which is making a remarkable difference on the battlefield. How is the A-10 contributing to this critical war? Join us as we delve into the Super A-10 Warthog, U.S. secretly tested in Yemen. The Warthog against Yemen troops. The conflict between Israel and Hamas, which erupted a few months ago, has drawn support from various nations, each taking different approaches. While most supporting nations have opted for indirect involvement, working behind the scenes, the Houthi militant group, which controls much of Yemen, has taken a more aggressive stance. The Houthi group declared open season on any ship even remotely linked to Israel, military or civilian, crossing the Red Sea near Yemen. This move sent shockwaves globally, considering almost a third of all shipping worldwide passes through the Red Sea. The group's actions also targeted US and UK ships operating under Operation Prosperity Guardian, aimed at restoring order in the Red Sea. In response to the Houthi attacks, the US and UK swiftly retaliated, launching over 15 Tomahawk cruise missiles and precision-guided bombs at the military assets of the Houthi militants in Yemen. The strikes hit 60 targets across 16 different locations in the country, including coastal radars, command and control facilities, missile and drone storage depots, launchers, and production facilities. Contributing to the strike were American destroyers like Gravely, LOB Boone, and Mason, the Ohio-class cruise missile submarine USS Florida, and the Nimitz-class carrier USS Dwight D. Eisenhower. Various aircraft, including FA-18 Super Hornets, E-8G Growler jets, and Typhoon fighter bombers of the UK's Royal Air Force based in Cyprus, were also involved. The HMS Diamond, a Type 45 destroyer from the Royal Navy, also participated in the operation. This strike marked the largest Western attack on the Houthi militants in nearly a decade. Following the strikes, Houthi officials issued threats of retaliation against the responsible forces, including the US, UK, and their allies. Given the Houthi group's reputation, retaliation is not unexpected. In anticipation of potential retaliation, the US has positioned a fleet of A-10 Warthogs on standby. The A-10 Warthog, designed primarily for close air support of friendly ground troops, is an ideal weapon for attacking armored vehicles and tanks and providing quick-action support against enemy ground forces. During Operation Desert Storm in 1991, the A-10 proved its effectiveness by destroying over 900 Iraqi tanks, 2,000 other military vehicles, and 1,200 artillery pieces. Its performance set a record for the most Cannon and Maverick missile kills in combat. Insane engineering of the A-10 Warthog. The A-10 Warthog packs quite a punch when it comes to taking out Houthi ground troops. 5 days after the war began, these formidable aircraft arrived in the Middle East, and by December, they were already honing their skills with strafing runs, taking aim at ground targets using their cannons. But that's just scratching the surface of what makes the A-10 Warthog such a formidable force on the battlefield. This aircraft has been serving for almost half a century, and it's managed to stay relevant every step of the way through constant modernization, upgrades, and robust offense and defense suites. Let's dive deeper into these capabilities. The Fairchild Republic A-10 Thunderbolt, affectionately known as the Warthog, holds a special place in the annals of the U.S. Air Force. Born during the Cold War, this aircraft was tailored for a specific type of warfare scenario. If the Cold War ever turned hot, one particular area was primed to become a battleground, the Fulda Gap. This 50-kilometer corridor of lowland valleys, situated between East and West Germany, served as the shortest route to strategic locations like France, Frankfurt, and the vital Rhine River. To safeguard this crucial corridor, Both sides of the Fulda Gap were fortified with armored divisions. In response to this threat environment, the U.S. developed the operational doctrine called air-land battle, with the A-10 playing a pivotal role. Dubbed a low-flying tank killer, it was designed to work closely with ground troops, breaking up enemy formations at the front, while high-flying bombers targeted supply lines at the rear. Close air support is the name of the game for the A-10. Operating close to both friendly and hostile forces, this aircraft needs to withstand a considerable amount of damage while maintaining pinpoint accuracy to avoid friendly fire incidents. Additionally, it must be readily available at a moment's notice, often operating from forward bases with limited infrastructure. Survivability is also key for the A-10, flying at low altitudes and drawing fire from every hostile with a weapon. Despite sustaining severe damage, A-10s have often made it back to base, a testament to their ruggedness. The A-10's remarkable ability to return to base even under dire circumstances isn't merely luck. It's the result of meticulous aircraft design. Every control system within this beast features 3-layer redundant reserves, ensuring backup power in case of failures. With two 115 or 200-volt 3-phase alternators and an emergency source of a 34-amp-hour battery with a 24-volt output, the A-10 is equipped to handle electrical issues even during combat. Moreover, an auxiliary power unit provides electricity when the engines aren't running and ground power sources aren't accessible. But it doesn't stop there. Parts of the cockpit and systems are shielded against rounds up to 23 millimeters, adding another layer of protection. Interestingly, the A-10's engine placement in separate cells offers an additional safeguard against ground fire. At one point, the decision was made to replace the high-temperature turbofan bypass engines developed by General Electric with modern power plants that offer similar thrust but with lower fuel consumption and reduced weight. This enhances the aircraft's performance and efficiency. Moreover, the A-10 was designed with cost-effectiveness in mind. In a potential all-out war scenario with the Soviets, quantity and ease of manufacturing would be crucial factors for victory. Contractors bidding for the manufacturing contract had to consider these factors, designing the entire plane around its primary armament, the General Electric GAU-8/A gun. This fearsome weapon, with its distinctive sound, takes up a significant portion of the plane's internal volume, holding over 1,000 30mm rounds. The gun's belt system and rotating cam firing system are powered by two independent hydraulic systems, ensuring redundancy in operation. But that's not all. The A-10 is also armed with the AGM-65 Maverick air-to-surface missile, guided by electro-optics and infrared, allowing it to engage targets at much greater ranges than the cannon alone. This capability helps the A-10 avoid air defense systems. Additionally, the aircraft carries cluster bombs, Hydra 70 rockets, GPS and laser-guided bombs, such as the GBU-39 small-diameter bomb, Paveway series bombs, Joint Direct Attack Munition, Wind-Corrected Munitions Dispenser, AGM-154 Joint Standoff Weapon, glide bombs, and AIM-9 Sidewinder air-to-air missiles. Every component of the A-10 is designed with redundancy to increase survivability. For instance, the landing gear can be extended by both hydraulic systems, and in case of failure, the wing-mounted landing gear doesn't fully retract, allowing for a relatively safe landing. The fuel tanks are also self-sealing and filled with foam to prevent explosions. This meticulous attention to redundancy and survivability makes the A-10 Thunderbolt a formidable force on the battlefield, capable of delivering close air support even in the most hostile environments. How the Warthog protects the pilot. The Warthog, like most aircraft, is equipped with significant armor to protect its most vital component, the pilot. Sitting inside a titanium tub, the pilot is shielded from direct hits from armor-piercing rounds up to 23 millimeters. The canopy is made from ballistic glass capable of withstanding small arms fire and missile hits, although this aircraft isn't designed for acrobatics over the battlefield. Instead, it's meant to withstand shrapnel from anti-aircraft fire and missiles. To further enhance survivability, the A-10 carries more chaff and flares than any other U.S. legacy fighter. Chaff confuses radar-controlled missiles, while flares distract heat-seeking missiles. With dispensers located strategically across both wings, These countermeasures can be triggered automatically or manually by the pilot. Flying low to strike ground targets makes the A-10 a prime target for enemy fire. To counter this, the aircraft also features 1,200 pounds of titanium aircraft armor. The interior surface exposed to the pilot is covered by a multi-layer nylon SP shield, providing protection against shell fragmentation. This enables the A-10 and its pilot to survive direct hits from 23 millimeters of cannon fire, 57 millimeters of shell fragments, explosives, and armor-piercing projectiles. Moreover, the aircraft boasts double redundant hydraulic flight systems and a mechanical backup system, ensuring it can keep flying even if half of its parts are shot off. One of the A-10's most distinctive features is its unusual engine placement and tail configuration. This design is intentional, aimed at masking the infrared signature of the plane's hot exhaust, making it less susceptible to heat-seeking missiles. The large vertical stabilizers help maintain stability, crucial for the accurate firing of its powerful gun, mounted directly on the center line to minimize recoil. The gun's recoil force, at 44.5 kilonewtons, is formidable, effectively halving the plane's thrust momentarily. However, with short burst firing typically lasting 1 to 2 seconds, pilots can manage this recoil without losing control. The engines, positioned behind the wings, also minimize the ingestion of dirt and dust from rough forward-operating base runways, which are often just dirt strips. Designing the A-10 to operate from remote airfields presented unique challenges, though. Unlike larger aircraft, it lacks auxiliary power units, necessitating the installation of an auxiliary power unit between the two podded engines. This ensures that it can start its main engines without external assistance and perform essential functions like electricity generation and hydraulic fluid pumping. The aircraft's powerful gun posed engineering challenges as well. Exhaust gas from the gun ignited and starved the engines of oxygen in an early model incident in 1978. To mitigate this, a gas scoop was added underneath the barrels to suck in some of the exhaust. Additionally, changes in the chemical mixture of the propellant increased flash levels, necessitating a canopy washer to clear residue buildup. Circuitry was also added to ensure continuous firing of the engine ignition system while the gun trigger was pulled. This prevented flameouts, ensuring the engine could reignite immediately if needed. The GAU-8 Avenger, with its immense firepower, was designed to wreak havoc on Soviet tanks attempting to breach Allied lines. To achieve this, they rely on heavy armor-piercing rounds, which are truly massive at 30 millimeters, as already mentioned. These rounds often contain a core made of depleted uranium, an exceptionally dense material at 19.1 gram per cubic centimeter. This density gives the round more kinetic energy for armor piercing, as uranium has nearly twice the density of lead and significantly more than iron. The self-sharpening properties of depleted uranium make it ideal for penetrating armor, unlike tungsten, which tends to mushroom upon impact. Pilots have described firing the gun as akin to riding on the rockiest train tracks ever, as they essentially sit and fly on a massive machine gun. Interestingly, there are currently around 700,000 metric tons of depleted uranium stored as uranium hexafluoride in massive storage cylinders across America. While this resource is cheap and readily available, its use has raised concerns. Many war-torn regions have attributed elevated cases of cancer to the use of depleted uranium in warfare. The A-10 has faced constant threats of retirement, with detractors arguing that more modern aircraft like the F-16 or F-35 could fulfill its role. While both sides of the argument have valid points, it's essential to recognize that the Warthog was purpose-built for close air support, excelling in scenarios where taking hits and delivering firepower are paramount. Modern aircraft like the F-35 were designed for a different era and battlefield environment, prioritizing stealth and multi-role capabilities. While the F-35 can carry a similar payload to the A-10 when air superiority is established, it lacks the A-10's ruggedness and ability to absorb damage. Despite the debates, the Super Warthog remains a crucial asset in conflicts like those in Iraq and Afghanistan, where the threat level and enemy sophistication are relatively low. Its low operating cost compared to other military aircraft has helped it maintain its relevance on the battlefield. serving as a symbol of support and protection for ground troops. The supposed replacement of the Warthog. The F-35 Lightning II stands as one of America's most iconic fighter aircraft, just behind the feared F-22 Raptor. Its groundbreaking innovations have been both a curse and a blessing, yet it can't replace the A-10 Warthog. The plane's design has garnered global admiration, though, serving as a testament to American engineering and ingenuity, pushing the boundaries of military aeronautics into a new age. The F-35 story began with the Joint Strike Fighter program, aiming to develop a new generation of versatile aircraft to replace the legendary F-16. Industry giants like McDonnell Douglas, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, and Lockheed Martin competed fiercely for the lucrative contract. Ultimately, Lockheed's revolutionary reheated turbofan engine, coupled with its futuristic lift system, won the bid. Despite challenges, the Department of Defense recognized Lockheed's innovative lift fan system as superior, setting the stage for a historic transformation in jet fighter capabilities. At the heart of the F-35 program lies the unprecedented Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine, a marvel of engineering. Collaborating with Rolls-Royce and Hamilton Sundstrand, Pratt & Whitney crafted a propulsion system capable of achieving remarkably short takeoff times. Rolls-Royce's innovative lift system, utilizing cutting-edge technology, was a game-changer. Unlike previous designs like the Yak-38, which relied on separate lift engines, the F-135's flexible thrust vectoring nozzle provided the necessary lift, withstanding afterburn temperatures while offering unparalleled maneuverability. With a staggering 29,000 horsepower, the F-135 engine remains a pinnacle of aeronautical achievement, earning prestigious accolades such as the Collier Trophy. Billed as a fighter jet capable of nearly everything the U.S. military desired, the F-35 serves the Air Force, Marine Corps, Navy, and even Britain's Royal Air Force and Royal Navy, all in one aircraft design. Marketed as a cost-effective, powerful multi-role fighter, it's touted to surpass current aircraft capabilities by a wide margin. Lockheed Martin claims it will be 4 times more effective in air-to-air combat, 8 times more effective in air-to-ground combat, and 3 times more effective in recognizing and suppressing enemy air defenses. Moreover, it promises a better range and reduced logistics support compared to current military aircraft. Despite its stealth capabilities, the F-35 is not invisible to radar. Its design significantly reduces its radar cross-section, making it appear smaller on radar screens, akin to a bird rather than a plane. However, it's designed to be stealthy primarily in the X-band radar frequency range, commonly used for air-to-air combat targeting. Nonetheless, radar isn't the sole means of detecting and targeting an aircraft. Infrared emissions from friction-generated heat and hot engines can also reveal its presence. Several nations, particularly the Russians, boast excellent passive infrared search and tracking systems capable of precisely locating and targeting enemy aircraft, often using lasers to measure exact distances without radar. In air-to-air battles, it's common for opposing planes to get close enough for pilots to see each other. According to Lockheed Martin and the Pentagon, the F-35's superiority over its rivals lies in its ability to remain undetected, providing it with the advantage of first look, first shot, first kill. The aircraft's program represents the culmination of various projects merged into a single set of requirements for a versatile combat aircraft aiming to cater to multiple combat scenarios. In combat, the difference between winning and losing can be minimal, with second place often meaning death. The Pentagon's goal is to equip warriors with the best possible tools, tailored to address specific mission needs. Multi-role fighter aircraft, capable of both air-to-air combat and against ground targets, require trade-offs in design. While many emphasize aerial combat strength, the F-35 excels despite its limitations. Coordinated efforts involving fourth-generation fighters like the F-16, F-15, and Eurofighter Typhoon, along with advanced support systems like the E-8 Joint Stars, ensure a formidable force. During exercises like Red Flag, where realistic scenarios are simulated, the F-35's prowess is tested against advanced adversaries like Russian Su-30s. The F-35's remarkable computing power and situational awareness capabilities make it stand out. Pilots often refer to it as a quarterback in the sky or a computer that flies. Its ability to process vast amounts of data in combat situations gives it a decisive edge. Originally conceived to meet the demands of multiple fighting forces, the F-35 streamlines logistical supply lines, maintenance, and training, leveraging stealth technologies similar to the F-22. From its inception in 1995 to the development of competitive prototypes in 1997, the Joint Strike Fighter program faced significant challenges. It aimed to replace several aircraft across different services, including the F-14 Tomcat and the A-10 Thunderbolt II. Designed with low observability as a priority, the F-35 is considered one of the stealthiest fighters in operation today. Equipped with a powerful F-135 engine capable of producing 40,000 pounds of thrust, it can carry a formidable arsenal internally, while maintaining stealth or mount additional weapons externally when operating in low-risk environments. The F-35A, equipped with an internal 4-barrel 25mm rotary cannon hidden behind a small door, can engage both airborne and ground-based targets while minimizing radar returns. Lockheed Martin has developed a new internal weapons carriage that will eventually allow it to carry an additional 2 missiles internally. Unlike previous generations of fighters, the F-35's cockpit features large touchscreens and a helmet-mounted display system, providing real-time information to the pilot. The Distributed Aperture System, DAS, and a suite of 6 infrared cameras strategically mounted around the aircraft enable the pilot to look directly through the aircraft. In an interview with the New York Times, Tom Burbidge, Lockheed's general manager of the program from 2000 to 2013, highlighted the technological feat achieved with the F-35. The concept of building an aircraft that is stealthy, capable of vertical takeoff and landing, and supersonic seemed impossible at the time. The lift fan design used in the X-35 prototype played a crucial role in the F-35's success, particularly in fulfilling the U.S. Marine Corps requirement for short takeoff and vertical landing capabilities. Lockheed's approach to short takeoff and vertical landing flights impressed decision-makers, ultimately securing the contract. The design not only provided stability, but also contributed to the aircraft's aesthetic appeal. Rick Resbeck, an engineer at Lockheed, emphasized the modern and high-performance look of the F-35 compared to its competitors. Following Lockheed's win, the focus shifted to developing different variants of the F-35 to meet the diverse needs of the U.S. military and its allies. The F-35A, designed for conventional takeoff and landing, serves as a replacement for the F-16 multi-role fighter and is also meant to replace the A-10 Warthog. The F-35B, with its short takeoff and vertical landing capabilities, caters to the U.S. Marine Corps requirements, enabling operations from austere runways and amphibious assault ships. On the other hand, the F-35C is the first stealth fighter designed for carrier operations, featuring larger wings, robust landing gear, and folding wings for easier storage. Despite its initial setbacks and challenges in design, the F-35 program has evolved to offer a versatile and capable aircraft lineup tailored to different mission requirements. From traditional runway operations to short takeoff and vertical landing capabilities, the F-35 variants represent a significant advancement in military aviation technology. The numerous upgrades the Warthog has undergone. As nations like Russia and China actively develop advanced weaponry, ensuring the A-10 Warthog's relevance and effectiveness becomes crucial. These countries are not only bolstering their military might, but also exporting formidable weapons to numerous potential challengers of the U.S., effectively extending their influence across the globe. In response to this heightened era of geopolitical tensions and military innovation, a continuous process of integration and upgrading of countermeasures against these new threats is imperative. The A-10, known for its legendary tank-busting capabilities, needs to adapt to this newly dangerous environment. Over the decades, technological advancements have kept the aircraft relevant and dominant on the battlefield. They introduced new wings designed to endure an impressive 10,000 flight hours. The A-10 also transitioned from its analog roots to a more modern digital battlefield. The first step in this evolution was the A-10C Precision Engagement Program, which introduced the Hands-on Throttle and Stick (HOTAS) system. This technology, already familiar to pilots of modern fighter aircraft, allows pilots to seamlessly control the plane without removing their hands from the control lever. Another exciting addition to the A-10 Warthog is the implementation of multifunctional display screens on the pilot's helmet and new optoelectronic containers and radars. These upgrades bring the Warthog into the modern era of warfare, enhancing its capabilities and effectiveness on the battlefield. The aircraft's multifunctional display, inspired by the F-16 setup, now includes 2 displays as part of the Precision Engagement package. This allows the pilot to access critical information at a glance, significantly increasing situational awareness during missions. Additionally, the A-10 is set to receive a Link 16 connection, a significant upgrade facilitating more extensive and efficient data exchange in real-time communication and coordination. Moreover, the aircraft is now equipped with helmets featuring the BAE Systems Striker II Helmet-Mounted Display, HMD, which integrates night vision and target tracking capabilities. These advances are part of the ongoing effort to keep the A-10 Warthog relevant in the ever-evolving landscape of modern warfare. One of the most exciting updates to the A-10 is the addition of synthetic aperture radar, SAR, technology. This capability enhances the aircraft's ability to detail the surrounding area, providing high-resolution imagery and the ability to detect objects concealed underground. This is particularly valuable for ground support missions, where detailed situational awareness can make all the difference. Another significant upgrade is Suite 8, which enhances communication between A-10 pilots and ground personnel. This upgrade introduced the V-12 lightweight airborne recovery systems into the aircraft's interface control unit, facilitating more effective coordination. Suite 8 also brought new weapons to the arsenal, such as the AGR-2 Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System, offering longer strike ranges and faster loading capabilities, enabling the A-10 to strike targets from safer distances. Next up was Suite 9, and it lived up to expectations. One significant improvement was the integration of a situational awareness pad into the operational flight program of the Warthog. This allowed joint terminal attack controllers to report their positions digitally, eliminating the need for pilots to search for them from thousands of feet in the air. Suite 9 also equipped the Warthog with the ability to engage up to 6 targets simultaneously, using a variety of precision-guided weapons. The precision of these weapons was further enhanced by Suite 9's hybrid optical-based internal tracker helmets, providing more accurate aircraft responses to the pilot's head movements. Then came Suite 10, which enabled the Warthog to join the smart bomb technology trend. It fully integrated laser-guided AGR-2 Advanced Precision Kill Weapon Systems, GBU-31 Joint Direct Attack Munition Guidance Kits, and multiple small-diameter bombs. Suite 10 also saw the construction of over 100 new wings for the Warthog fleet by Boeing, costing a hefty $1.1 billion. Additionally, Suite 10 introduced a data link that shared threat information rapidly between A-10s, enhancing battlefield awareness and survivability. Suite 11, the latest upgrade, aimed to bring the A-10 as close to a modern 5th-generation aircraft as possible. While most upgrades were internal due to economic constraints, Suite 11 marked the most significant modernization of the A-10's cockpit since 2005, the year the F-22 Raptor entered service. Upgrades included a digital primary display in the form of a new 11.6-inch high-resolution display system, jam-resistant GPS, a 3-dimensional surround sound system, the R210 radio, and agile development methodologies to ensure seamless integration of these upgrades. Suite 11 set the stage for potential future upgrades like Suite 12. It's worth noting that while these upgrades might seem like a considerable package, they represent a streamlined version of what was initially proposed. Even in this condensed form, the U.S. Air Force now boasts an A-10 that's more than just an aircraft with wings. It's a full-fledged flying bomb train. Is there another aircraft like the Super A-10 Warthog? Comparatively, the only other aircraft built for close air support is the Sukhoi Su-25, a Russian creation. This aircraft, following a development trajectory similar to the A-10, started production in 1978. The Soviet Air Force recognized the need for a low-altitude, highly survivable aircraft to complement its attack aircraft fleet. Before the Su-25, aircraft like the Su-17, Su-22, MiG-23BN, and MiG-27 lacked adequate armor and survivability, making them vulnerable to ground fire. The combat experience in Afghanistan underscored the urgency for an aircraft with enhanced protection and survivability. Delving into the design and payload aspects, the Su-25 is notably smaller and lighter than the A-10. It carries a substantial amount of titanium armor on board, protecting the cockpit. However, the A-10's cockpit is safeguarded by even thicker titanium armor. Despite its smaller size and payload capacity, the Su-25 is equipped with the GSH-32 gun, with an impressive firing rate of 3,000 revolutions per minute, making it more than capable for ground attack missions. However, the A-10's superior payload capacity and array of weaponry give it a distinct advantage on the battlefield, making it a formidable force against ground forces. The Su-25's arsenal includes a variety of weapons, such as rockets, bombs, and surface-to-air missiles like the K-23, KH-25, and K-29. It's worth noting that the Su-25 SM variant can also carry R-73 air-to-air missiles. Now let's talk about the engines and performance, where these aircraft diverge significantly. The A-10 is powered by two TF-34 engines, which provide robust performance. However, these engines are exposed and vulnerable to ground fire. In contrast, the Su-25 features an R-95 engine nestled within the fuselage, offering an added layer of protection with titanium armor. Additionally, the Su-25's engine is multi-fuel capable, while the A-10's engine is limited to jet fuel. The Su-25 also outpaces the A-10 with a top speed of 590 miles per hour, compared to the A-10's 437 miles per hour. However, it's essential to consider the operational range. The Su-25 has a shorter operational range of just 37.5 miles, about half of the A-10's 640 miles. To extend its range, the Su-25 can carry extra fuel externally, but this reduces its payload capacity. Takeoff distance is another factor. The Su-25 requires a mere 656 yards compared to the A-10's 1,312 yards, making it more versatile for unpaved runways and aircraft carriers. Regarding survivability, the A-10 has a slight edge. Its horizontal stabilizer shields its engines from ground fire, and the aircraft can fly at higher altitudes. Reports suggest comparable deployment losses for both aircraft in conflicts like Afghanistan and Syria. However, the A-10's reputation for durability is evident, with no reported shoot-downs during long deployments in these regions. The A-10 and Su-25 each have their strengths, but with new upgrades, the A-10 will outmatch the Su-25. The A-10's continued service underscores its enduring capabilities and adaptability. Upgrades have significantly enhanced its survivability, solidifying its position as a stalwart in close air support missions. With both the A-10 and F-35 in the Air Force's arsenal, the focus has shifted towards outfitting the A-10 with fifth-generation technology, showcasing its remarkable flexibility and resilience in meeting evolving challenges on the battlefield. The A-10 Warthog has indeed been a cornerstone of American close air support since its inception. Despite record-breaking deployments and thousands of sorties, its relevance remains steadfast. With the escalating war in the Middle East, the A-10 once again takes to the skies, instilling fear in the hearts of its enemies. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.